Hey coders, Chris here. Yesterday you signed up for a Parse account. Today we're going to create an Xcode project and we're going to integrate the Parse SDK into it. In future lessons we're going to use this project to demonstrate all of the various features of Parse. So if you signed up for a Parse account, you should have this dashboard view right here, and you're going to want to go to create a new app in the upper right hand corner. So click this button. You're going to have to pick a name for it. Because we're just doing demos, I'm just going to say Parse Demo. I'm going to click Make It. And before we go into all of these things on the left hand side, I want you to go into App Settings and go under Security and Keys. This is where you're going to find a couple of the keys that we're going to need in order for our app or our project to connect to this backend. Right, so we're going to come back to this. But what I want you to do now is in the new dashboard, there are a couple of dots down here. You can see where my mouse is. Click it and you're going to have a pop-up menu. Go to Downloads and we're going to download the Parse SDK. So in the past, we used to have to download the SDK and then manually include it into our project, but now they have an open source GitHub library where we can actually use a Cocoapod install. So we've been doing this in the past 2 weeks ago, approximately. I showed you guys how to use Cocoapods and how to install a whole bunch of GitHub libraries using this method. And so we're going to do the same thing because using Cocoapods has the benefit of managing the Parse library. If it updates, we're going to be able to easily update it as well. Okay, so let's create that Xcode project we were talking about. So I'm going to create a new Xcode project here, and I'm going to make this a single view application, and let's call it the Parse Demo app. Make sure that the language is Swift, and I have device as iPhone and all of these other options underneath it unchecked. I'm going to click Next. I'm just going to save it on my desktop here. And here we've got our single view application. I'm going to go ahead and close this guy. And I'm going to press Command Spacebar and open up Terminal. Now, if you don't know what Cocoapods is or you haven't gotten it installed, then take a look at the video linked in the upper right hand corner right now. Click through it, it'll open up a new window and it'll show you how easy it is to set up Cocoapods. And then you're going to be able to come back to this video and continue along. So here we're going to navigate to our project folder. So I'm going to type in pwd to see where I am. I'm at user/Chris, and I know there's a desktop folder in the Chris folder, so I'm going to type cd space desktop. You type ls, that lists all of the files on the desktop, or in that current folder I mean. So type in now cd parse demo app because I see that folder right here on my desktop. Make sure you get the capitalization correct. Okay, so now I am in my project folder, so I'm going to type pod space init, and that's going to create the pod file that I need. So there we go. Let's open up our project folder. Here's the pod file. I'm going a little bit quickly because we've actually done this a lot of times in previous videos while we installed I think 10 different libraries, or maybe a little less than that. But right click the pod file, go to open with, go to your text editor. I'm going to go to Sublime Text 2, which is my text editor. And then we're going to need to uncomment a couple of lines here. This one and this one right here. So make sure you have this platform line uncommented and use frameworks. And uncommenting means just removing that hash symbol in front of it. And then next we're going to want to include this pod parse in between the target and the end tags, like that. Save the file, go back to terminal, and let's type in pod space install. So it's gonna go read that pod file and fetch the libraries which we need. Takes a little while sometimes, so give it a little bit of time. I might just edit out that wait time so you guys don't have to wait. Okay, so it's done now. We're going to go back to our project folder. It created a couple of new files for us. We're going to open up this parsedemo.xc workspace. And let me just change this Xcode window so you can see it. So we've got our demo app here. Just press Command B to build the project now. So it's going to build all those libraries that it downloaded. So you can see Xcode doing that crunching right now. And while that's doing that, let's go back. Let's press back in our browser window. Okay, build succeeded. Back here in the downloads page, click launch the quick start. because there are a couple of instructions that we're going to need. So go to data, go to mobile, go to iOS, go to Swift, go to new project. Okay, so here it recommends you actually to download the blank Xcode project because it's done it all for you already. But you know what? We don't want to do that because we've set up our own Xcode project. We've integrated the Parse library now, and now it's a matter of adding a couple of lines of code and specifying the secret key and the app key in order for our Xcode project to connect to the backend. Up here in the upper right, if you're signed in, you're going to see a drop down where you can pick the particular Parse app that you created in the dashboard. So here it's already set it to sample Parse app for me. Actually, no, I want Parse demo. That's the one I created. This is something else. So Parse demo is the one that we wanted. So make sure that if you only have one, it's easy. But if you have a couple, make sure you have the right one selected because it's going to change the code here and it's going to fill in these keys for you. Okay, so now I'm going to copy and paste this line of code. Let's just copy it. Let's see. We put it in the appdelegate.swift file under the did finish launching with options. Let's go into the appdelegate.swift. And under here, before the return statement, because if you put it after return statement, it won't get run. Nothing happens after a return statement because it returns out of that function. So paste it there. Actually, I'm missing a P. So I might have to import parse. So import parse. And there we go. Command B, build it. Build succeeded. And we're set. Now, we haven't tested if it actually connects to the backend. In the following lesson, we're going to try to retrieve, say, some data, and we should be able to tell. So thanks for watching, and please help me out by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.